Isang masayang pagbati na may ngiti sa aking mga labi. Naghahanap ba kayo ng makakatuwang sa pag-review ng inyong anak? Meron yan sa DepEd. Ang ETUlay online tutorial ay libre at handog ng ating kagawaran sa pangunguna ng OUA ICTS EdTech. Ito ay isang proyektong makatutulong sa mga mag-aaral, katuwang ang mga magulang o kasama sa kani-kanilang tahanan para masagutan at maunawaan ang mga modules. Hangad din ng programang ETUlay ang matulungan ang ating mga guro sa kanilang mga blended learning classes. Ang ating ETUlay ay mula kinder hanggang senior high school. Bukod sa academics, meron din tayong mga special programs gaya ng All is Wellness, Reading and Math Remediation, Storytelling, Mommy Tech Talks, Classes sa Gramatika, Speech Class, Financial Literacy, at marami pang iba. Pinalawig din ng ETUlay ang ating Alive program para sa mga mag-aaral mula grade 1 hanggang grade 3. Gayun din ay mayroon tayong ALS program at SPED tutorials na makasisigurong makakamit ng lahat ang inclusive education. May SPED hotline na rin para sa inyong mga katanungan patungkol sa special education. Kaya, subaybayan mula Lunes hanggang Biyernes, mula 9 ng umaga hanggang 7 ng gabi ang ating ETUlay. Sa ating pagtutulungan, maiaangat natin ang bawat isa. Ating itutulay ang pagkatuto upang di mapigil ang pag-aaral ng kabataang Pilipino. Itulay natin ito, sulong edukalidad.
Mabuhay! Good day to all! I am your tutor Madge. Welcome to ETUlay, a free online tutorial, an initiative of the Department of Education, Information and Communications Technology Service, Educational Technology Unit, ICTS EdTech. This program is aimed at helping and assisting learners from kindergarten, senior high school, ALS, Alive, and SPED learners. Aside from answering the modules, the ETUlay is offering programs which you will surely look forward to. Together with our parents and teachers, the ETUlay will bridge the gaps where difficulty and ease meet in learning new knowledge and skills. So, let us prepare our module, pen and paper. Ready your mind to see and hear worthwhile and interesting lessons. Let us now study and learn, together with our volunteer online tutors. Tara na!
All right. Good afternoon. Good afternoon. Hi, everyone. Hello, Tutor Joyce.
Hello, Tutor Floy. Hello po. Doing great, ma'am?
I'm doing great. Yes. How about you?
Okay, doing good too. So let's ask our students, our learners, senior high school learners, good afternoon. How is everyone?
Hello, everyone. So I believe Tutor Joyce, it's good to recognize the folks who are early birds today. We have, of course, Joseph Conrad Bulaklak from Pasay City North High School, grade 12 ICT. Hello, belated happy birthday again. We also have one of your students, John Christian Miku. So good afternoon from San Francisco High School, 11 Gas, R. Ferriol. So go ahead, Tutor Joyce. We have some greetings from Kyla or Kyla as well. Go ahead.
Yes, from Kyla Cruz of Bekuran High School. Hello, good afternoon. We also have from Kawit, Cavite, we have Emelita Torres. Good afternoon. And we have also Gwyneth, Ahena, Mark Selemen, and of course, Trisha Lian from San Francisco High School. I would like to greet also, shout out to STEM Octans and Section ABM Hydra. Good afternoon, guys. Hello.
Wow, it's nice to have you guys here. So welcome to the second quarter of 21st Century Literature. We're already on our second week. So sa mga kaka-tune in lamang, Please don't forget to give your reactions a like, a love, and please share this live stream to your family, batchmates, and friends. Now, for those who are wondering, we are live na napapanood sa DepEd Philippines YouTube account, Educational Technology Unit YouTube channel or account, and Facebook page DepEd EdTech Unit. So don't forget to hit like and share. So
Share.
yes, yes, yes. There you have it. So Shooter Joyce, I've heard we have a lot of things coming up this week, and I'll begin with a quick recap. Last week, we are able to cover the basic reading approaches and the different steps in producing your own literary analysis rather. So, what's in store this week, Shooter Joyce?
Well, for our most essential learning competencies for this week, we are now in quarter 2, week 2. We will be comparing and contrasting the various 21st century genres and their elements, structure, traditions across the globe. I know you guys are already familiar with literary genres, but then again, we will be discussing just a little deeper, no, for two literary genres that for this afternoon. Yes, we
Yes.
have. Mhm.
Okay.
And
So this
eh,
is our this is our edited or amended session guide, and if you notice, we're already on our second week. We'll be talking about two 21st century literary genres as mentioned by Tutor Joyce, and for the next few weeks we'll be having more on creative literary adaptation. That will be a 2 week lesson, so there is a slight change, and we'll be posting that in our respective social media pages, or if not in the ETUlay Facebook group. So there you have it. So what are the objectives? Well, that was a quick posting of objectives. Let's have the first one, Tutor Joyce.
yes, we have point out the relationship between form, genre, and the meaning. Another, we have recall the four main literary forms. Okay,
Mhm.
and Tutor Floy?
All right. So, like we've said, there are only two that will be focusing this afternoon, and that is graphic fiction and flash fiction. I know that again we've covered this last quarter, but this time we'll be having more images so we can show them to you how it looks like, how it works, what are its elements, and so on. And finally, of course, once you come across those genres, we are hoping that you'd appreciate them and you'd come to love them and love reading them every so often. So those are the objectives for this week. And allow us to present to you the literature concepts of the week. Can you name them, Shooter Joyce? What are the three?
Yes, we have the genre, the form, and of course, their meaning.
Yeah. So,
Yes.
how are these three connected to each other? You might be wondering. Well, these are perfect examples or manifestations of how 21st century literary genres came to be. Although these genres already existed for a decade. Have you ever thought of these three big three as if they're like a happy big family? It might seem like a strange image, guys, but is quite effective for describing their relationship and us getting to understand those genres. So, uh, let's consider first the form. Let's have form first. So, when we talk about the form, we're pertaining to the piece of writing and its structure, simply its structure, how it's constructed or organized, as if it's like the base or the roots of a family tree. Genres, in turn, are like the branches of the family tree. It's a specific style or category of writing, and they make use of various literary forms as foundation from which we try to stretch out in different directions of expression. So we're not only seeing just one genre, we're seeing multiple, various. There's a variety of them. And once you join form and genre together, okay, and we mix it with content or the text itself, we're already able to produce the third literary concept or literature concept, which is meaning. So we're already looking at how the author wanted us to understand a piece of writing, and basically the writer's message to us. Okay, so if you try to look at these together, these three will never leave each other. They're so synced and connected to each other. So, Tutor Joyce, after hearing the literature concepts of the week, what's next? Oh,
Y-
wow.
Yes. Yes, of course, the 21st century literature. So, which is actually this is our lesson, our subject, no? So, when we speak of 21st century literature, it is the new literary work created within the last decade, written by contemporary authors, which was in were we introduced to you last first quarter, no? Yeah. And it deals with current themes, issues, reflects technological culture, and often breaks traditional writing rules. And not only that, it also traces artistic representation of shared and familiar experiences of a writer, or even shared by the responses by the readers. Yeah. So, and that literature is you guys. So this is actually your literature, the 21st century literature.
All
Okay?
right. So there you have it. Thank you, Tutor Joyce. Now,
Yes.
let's have a quick recap of the different major literary forms. And we have first fiction, if you can still recall. So we're pertaining to imaginary plot lines, imaginary characters, which we can still relate to. We also have drama, wherein the piece of writing that's usually having some dialogues are put into life and performed on stage or in plays. We also have nonfiction, the total opposite of fiction. So we're seeing true to life experiences or contexts that uh, is written or published in a piece of writing. And finally, poetry. So all the verses, the rhyme, even free verse. If there are no rhymes, there's free verse. So everything that talks about certain symbols in just few lines and making us understand and feel the message, the hidden meaning behind those lines, well, poetry is there for us. Now, after reviewing the major literary forms, let's proceed to yes, a reiteration of our topic today, differentiating 21st century literary genres. So, Tudor Joyce, let's have the first one. Can you share
Yes.
more of graphic fiction? Help us recall
Mm.
what it is.
Oh, yeah. So we will be recalling actually this we mentioned a while ago that graphic fiction and another is a flash fiction. We start with differentiating this graphic fiction. No, it's a novel. Actually, it's a narrative in prose form conveyed to the readers in comic book format or dimension. It's actually a sophisticated comic book. Okay, the graphic novel spans across genre, and also it has into both fiction or non-fiction, and also produced a an overall to the globe. And not only that, can be a history, a fantasy, or anything in between. It uses sequential art or to tell story.
All
And
right.
yeah,
Yes.
tutor Floy, you want
Yes,
to add
go
more?
ahead.
Yes, go, go, go.
I'd like to add more though, but go
Yes,
ahead. Go
yes.
ahead.
And another one, we speak of graphic novel, it's more on, it has a clear beginning, middle, and the ending. And it
All
also
right.
have a
All right.
long running narratives that are longer than comics. Uh-huh. And it has a serialized excerpt from a larger narrative. Yeah.
All
In
right. So
addition
thank you
to
for that,
that,
Tudor
oh yeah,
Joyce.
yeah, yeah. Go, go,
Yes,
go.
yes. You're already discussing the features. Hold your
Yes.
horses. Anyway, so it's good that Tutor Joyce was able to give us already a sneak peek or a preview of the different features of a graphic novel. The key words and phrase that I would like to pinpoint based on Tutor Joy's explanation is it's a narrative, so it has a story to tell. It's in prose form, meaning you don't see metrical verses, you don't see a format as if you're seeing a poem. No, you're seeing paragraphs, sentences. Okay, so those stanzas, not really stanzas, sentences, paragraphs. So those are the things that you see when it comes to graphic fiction, and you can see images and a sequential story. So let's get to know more about their features. And Tutor Joyce, go ahead.
Yes, for their futures, they are orthographic platforms provide a sense of intimacy and interactively through the image panel. So through this, actually, it's more on the encourages interactivity. No, it's also the minds of the readers as he feels how he what he's reading or what he's she's reading and the blank image that he will going to fill in. No, and equally as good as textual novels in terms of developing skills in
Yes.
comprehension, textual discussion, even analyzing, comparing, contrasting, and even the cause and effect
All
relationship.
right, that's good.
Yes.
And you can see that interactivity or interaction among the characters because you can see that the story has a clear beginning or start, and then you progress along the plot. You'll have the middle part and even the conflict along the way, and eventually you'll be given a surprise ending. So, Tutor Joyce, are there other features? And I'm seeing two additional features. Can you please share it to our
Yes, so
audience
we have
today?
here, yeah, we thank you, Tutor Floy. We
You're
have
welcome.
language, syntax, and meaning built through connected images. It also combines book and screen experiences, no? And not only that, we also have it also fills in the stories or I mean the visual techniques. Okay, of films with classic storytelling approaches. Ayan. So those are the features of a graphic fiction.
All right.
Additional, you want to add more, Tutor Floy?
Yeah, sure. Okay. For some odd reasons, everything seems to pop up immediately, but not to worry. We'll have to. I just wanted to point out this part, you just. I like how you said that there's this combined book and screen experience. So I believe I'm not only seeing words, or our kids here, or our audience here are not only seeing words as they go through graphic fiction or novels. They're also seeing a lot of images along with those words. And the good thing about it is there are a lot of actions portrayed. I mean, there's something to look forward to, and it's exciting, it's refreshing. It's not the usual novel that we see, right, Tutor Joyce?
Yes, so full of words, no, without no more graphic. But this one is more on images. That the one mentioned by Mom
Yes.
Floyd. It's
All
nice. It's
right.
nice. Okay.
Good job, Tutor Joyce. Thank you for
Yes.
sharing that to us. Next, let's have the elements or the parts or the components of graphic fiction. So, what are these? Let's begin with the first one, which is or which are the image panels. I'm giving it a plural form because, again, there's not only one, but there are multiple image panels in a graphic novel or fiction. So, what are image panels? You see that square like thingy surrounding each scene. Well, that's an image panel. So that's where you place your images and the spills or the lines of the characters or even their thoughts. Another would be the gutters. So what are the gutters? So there. The gutters are the ones in between image panels. So imagine image panels as if this. Wait, I'll try to grab something. Let's say this handkerchief. This is one image panel. I'll add one more. That's the second image panel. But if you're facing me, it should be here. First image panel, right, Shooter Joyce?
Yes. Yes.
Then there's a
Then
second
another one.
image
Second.
panel added, and then so on and so forth.
So on.
Now, take note, gutters are the ones in between those panels. Usually, you'll see just a vertical line. Others, you can see even the horizontal type, the lengthier ones, depending on the type or the shape of the image panel. So, those are the gutters. Now, we also have this one. Let's say in this scene, as I lay cozy, all snug in my bed, I enjoy the images inside my head. So you can see that the person is indeed sleeping. So let's say the dog, her pet dog, suddenly appeared. So if you notice, the dog's tail and partially its hind or the back part or backside of the dog is already exceeding the image panel. So we call that as a bleed. So parang dugo. Di ba, Tutor Joyce?
Yes.
Bleed. So just imagine as if you're bleeding, but the bleed here is not really pertaining to blood. We're pertaining to the excess that's being still shown beyond the image panels. Now, what's the use of the bleed? Sometimes artists and even the writers of graphic novels include a bleed kasi parang it's as if it's giving us this elongated direction. Let's say you'll have an animal, ano ba yun? Na ibong Adarna, tama ba, Tutor Joyce? With a
Yes
very
po.
lengthy end
Mm-mm.
or back. So,
Yes.
ayun. So, parang
Mm-mm.
naka-emphasize na whatever direction it's pointing or parang kung magulo ba siya, you would
Mm-mm.
understand why that specific creature or focus is there for a reason. So you would know later on. Tingnan natin if we have examples. Another I'll have another example though. Sige, eto na sabihin ko. It just popped into my head just now. Let's say your mother, or let's say this woman's mother or this girl's mother yelled at the top of her lungs. Let's say you place her on the right side of the image of that girl in the image panel, and then there's this effect that the mom is yelling, and then the yell or even the symbol of the yell or the words that she's yelling are already exceeding the image panel. It's as if we're given that, ano ba yan, Chiro Joyce? Yung sobrang extended na yell na talagang it will even reach the neighbors' houses. Gano'n kahaba. So, gano'n kaganda yung bleed. Parang
Mm.
ine-exaggerate niya. Parang
Yeah.
minsan meron siyang hidden meaning behind the extended image. So, ayun. So, Tutor Joyce, I have two here. And I'd like our students to understand this part. So, we have thought balloons and speech balloons or bubbles. So, what do you know about these, Tutor Joyce? Can you help me recall what these two are?
Well, so actually, when speak out thought
Thought
balloons, these
bubbles
are
or
just
speech bubbles?
yeah, thought bubbles is more on just their thoughts, no? That parang they are not they're not speaking the words coming out from their mouth. Okay, their ideas just there. And while this speech bubbles, these are actually what the character are saying, no? And that's it. And more on expressions of the words that actually saying by the character. That one.
All right. So
Yeah.
that's good, Tutor Joyce. I hope you can hear me right now, Tutor Joyce. I feel like your volume, the volume of your voice, a bit lower. I
Yes.
think it's the internet connection being provided in the Philippines.
Yeah, yeah,
Everyone's
I think.
sleeping. Thank you, Tutor Joyce, for
Yes, you're
clarifying.
welcome.
And
Go, go.
go. So for our students who are watching, so Tutor Joyce is right. From the word itself, you have word or speech balloons or bubbles. So these are the things that the characters are saying. What are they uttering? What are they talking about? So yung sinasabi, kumbaga in Filipino. On the other hand, when we talk about thought balloons, these are the ones that as if we're getting that preview what's inside the head of the character, and usually they differ in terms of how they look like. If you notice here, I'll try to get a pen so you can see. Let's see if my pen works. Highlighter. So if you can see the edges here, circular, plain circular. So you can see how clean it is, how clean speech balloons are. On the other hand, thought balloons, even if sometimes it's just a plain circle there, you can see bubbles and bubbles or smaller balloons going. Unlike here, very sharp or pointed tip. Okay? Here's another, others have a different take. Yung iba ginagawa nila, naka-square siya, and then chink, chink, tapos yung lines. Okay?
Mm.
Others, for thought balloons naman, talagang parang may cloud. Di ba, Tutor Joyce?
Yes,
Others,
opo.
yes, and
Mm-mm.
then they separate the bubbles or the bubbles or the balloons. So there you go. Wow, so good in sketching, Tutor Joyce.
Wow.
It's it's difficult when you're using the mouse and not the pen. So I hope you're already getting the idea of how it looks like. Okay. Now let's have the next one. We have narration. So as I lay cozy all snug in my bed, so you're really seeing like you're given a story. You're already given a situation. The context is introduced to you. Sequence dialogues until I hear rocket beside my bed is 5 a.m. It's my 5 a.m. alarm. So the exact lines. So sequence kasi magkakasunod-sunod. It's in order. And finally, sound effect. Okay. So, oh, wow, that was interesting. So for sound effect, let's say So all those words that we don't usually use in sentences, but we use in speaking. Let's say, so that's an example. Okay, so another would be, eto, this is a good one. Tutor Joyce, do you still remember onomatopoeia? Do you still remember that?
Yes, yes,
Yeah,
yes,
so those are perfect examples of words that we use for sound effects. So we're creating words or we're producing words that uh, phonetically imitates, resembles, or suggests the sound that it describes. So all the boom, all the wham, kazam, shazam. So all those,
Shazam. Yeah.
those are the sound effects, right, Tutor Joyce?
Yes, yes,
Yeah, so there. And then on the other hand, we have this one. So motion line. If you notice the alarm, there you go. These are motion lines. So sometimes you can add more. Let's say something is dropping and then you'll have or something is falling or there are tears and then or maybe some little shadows or maybe for if it's an echo. So those are actually motion lines. Those are the ones that give us an idea what is the motion of the alarm. So pag ganun siya, it's as if there.
yes. Oh,
Yeah. Ticking bomb, you can have that as well. And finally, background colors. So in every panel, you can see it here in the example. I'll just head back. So in usual graphic novels, you can really see some background colors here. If it's darker, it means the character is really thinking of some negative thoughts or there's an ominous event that might happen. Okay. Others even have a different take, right? Shooter Joyce, yung let's say yung image panel nila parang naka bird's eye view pa. And then
yes.
yung color pa na background parang ang daming
Kakaiba.
ganito, parang pa-dark na talaga, no? Yung
Mm,
gano'n na gano'n sa gilid, ang daming
yeah,
shadow na parang si character lang yung nag-focus. Tapos yung
yes.
bird's eye view yung image panel, meaning we're already picturing out what will happen to the
What happened
character.
next?
Pero
Yeah,
siya, walang
okay,
idea, di ba,
yes.
Tito Joyce?
Ganda yun.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah,
So,
it was
Children Joyce,
nice.
here are some examples. Can you help us read or just name
Yes,
the
these are the
examples of
examples that
these?
we have, no? In the shadow of the number tower 911. I think it's a tragic, no, from way back in 9/11, September 11, that one. Okay, and the twin tower, and we also have the barn owls wondrous capers by
Papers.
San Sarna Banerjee. Yeah.
Yeah, so there you go. So those are examples. If you're interested to read, try to read them first. They're amazing. So Tutor Joyce, we have this familiar line. So Tutor Joyce, go, go, go.
Yes. Oh, so if we have graphic fiction, this time we move on to another literary genre, which is this example that we have here is another example of a flash fiction, but not another, but this is actually a very nice example by Ernest Hemingway, no? A for sale baby shoes never worn. Well, actually, this is perhaps the best known flash fiction story is from the 19th century pa, no? And its famous word attributes, yeah, from Sir and Ernest Hemingway. And this version of the story, the shoes being given away rather than sold. Mhm. And he suggests that would be provide some measures of solace for the owner, as it would mean that another baby would at least benefit directly. Okay, so the
Yeah,
first for sale calls to mind a recognizable troop and followed by baby shoes, a recognizable object. Ayan, no? And of course, yung never worn. It's really invoked by many possible meanings, di ba? Kung parang sinabi mong never worn, could be those babies were not or those baby shoes were not worn. It's because the baby wasn't there to wear them. Yan.
yeah. So
And this story has all the hallmarks of a piece of a flash fiction in that it conveys a narrative in a quick and a brief manner. Kaya siya flash, parang saglit lang, no? Nandun na agad yung thoughts niya. Ayan.
right.
Hmm.
So
Yes.
Tutor Joyce, so Flash fiction. So it's an imaginative literature of extreme brevity. So it's short, it's brief, it's like the Flash of the Flash that we know of, and it has many names. It goes by many names. So we have sudden fiction, micro
Fi-
stories, micro
yes,
fiction, postcard fiction, nano tales, and short
short
stories.
stories.
So
Parang
Tutor Joyce,
super
what's
short.
next? Yes, super short,
Yes,
shorter than
these
short.
are the characteristic of a flash fiction. Yes, sabi nga kanina na brevity, shorter than a short story. Sabi ni Tutor Floy kanina. And these are 6 to 1,000 words. So 500 words or less, no? And it's actually it's a punchy and to the point. A story extreme brevity is a plot pared down to the core of the story. Ayan, it compresses an entire story into a space of a few paragraphs,
All
and there is
right.
no defined word count for flash fiction. But some commonly used words limit fiction. Just use so 6 word to a short echo to around parang 1,000 words on the longer end. Ayan.
Mm,
Ideally, if parang siya, 500 lang siya, no? Or less words. Ayan. Tutor Floy. And it's also a complete plot. Okay? Even though mabilis siya, pero kompleto ang kanyang plot. And it has ito maganda dyan, it has a surprising ending na talagang akala mo yun na yung end, but then it's not. Okay? Ayan. And it's also a flash fiction na story, indeed a story with the beginning. Sabi nga kanina, it has a clear beginning, middle, and ending. Shouldn't be remove even one word. Kasi pag one or one plot will be removed, naiiba na yung story. Kaya nga kasi it's a flash fiction. Yes. You want to add some more, Tutor Floy?
Actually, I had a message here. It's
Oh,
still
yeah.
me. I'm the one asking because our
Go.
kids today are so are just listening, and it'll be good if
Yes.
we're having some engaging conversations in the
Go,
chat
go.
section as well. So, pa shout out po Lodi, Floy, and Tutors Floy and Joyce watching from SDO Tarlac. So hello, Circuit. You're next.
Hello.
Don't worry. So
Hi,
my question, Tutor
Circuit.
Joyce, for you is: which is shorter, flash fiction or graphic fiction?
Well, kaya nga, di ba, flash fiction? I think it's a flash fiction, Tutor Floy. Yes, it's a flash
Yeah.
fiction because it sets apart and it explores more on emotion, even though it's quite short. Pero through this plot, it's parang nandun na agad yung thought niya. Ayan.
Yeah, so
Okay.
in most cases, flash fiction is shorter. So take
Yes,
note of
shorter.
that. Cause okay. So thank you, Tutor Joy. So let's talk about the elements this time. So in terms of characters, usually flash fiction have has one, two, but not beyond four. So four is the max for most, if not all, flash fiction. And when it comes to characters, they don't have much backstory, Tutor Joyce. The sad part here is we don't know where the main character is coming from, ano yung hugot niya, what are his or her demons, kumbaga, di ba? May mga ganun tayo, yung
Opo,
parang
opo.
hinay-hinay na inaano, dine-develop. So, we
Yes.
don't have much of that in flash fiction compared to graphic fiction. Merong ganun. Kasi para talaga siyang novel na nagsisimula tayo, may exposition and also si flash fiction talagang sudden na sudden. So you
Yes.
focus in just one scene or one event and not in the past or in the future, walang ganon. So in terms of setting and theme, that those are two other elements. So there's only one setting. Para siyang Tutor Joyce. If we are to compare that to another form of fiction, para siyang parang one act play yung effect niya. Isa
Yun.
lang yung
Oh,
setting.
yeah, yes, yes.
Yes. And then another tutor, Joyce, every detail counts. There's a single theme. You couldn't go beyond that because if you'll entertain or the author will have more themes, ang mangyayari, parang hindi siya matapos. Hindi na siya flash fiction. Okay? And one more thing, tutor Joyce, I want to emphasize it that flash fiction do not necessarily end as flash fiction. Sometimes they are just used as parang simple writing exercises of writers. So parang sa araw na to, parang I feel like I'm going to have a mental block and I'll just write anything under the sun, short story. And then minsan, if it's not for practice, they can use that as parang opening part ng mga novels nila. So
Novels,
ganun siya.
yeah. Opo.
Flexi, si flash fiction. And then
Fiction.
here are some examples, Shooter Joyce. Can you read the first one?
Yes, we have the Taylor Swift by Huge Mem Steinbart. And you're in love. It's a great. You swipe on your phone, and other the next day, a Taylor Swift a clone shows up and at your home, at your house.
Okay.
Parang ganun na, no?
Ang
Nakaka-
funny lang, no, Tutor Joyce.
yes.
So, if you try to look at this flash fiction, we all know that the very good singer composer Taylor Swift
Yeah.
tend to have a lot of emotions pouring through her lyrics, and then usually yung inspiration yung mga recent breakups, but she never exactly revealed them, not all. So parang you would understand na ay parang si ano to yung ex niya to but if you try to
Oo.
look at it closely, you're in love, it's great, you swipe on your phone and order. So if you're someone who parang hidden meaning dito ba the Tutor Joyce, if you're currently in a relationship and then you suddenly nagsawa ka, change mo yung order mo, in short, you change your relationship with someone, ang mangyayari baka biglang merong clone ni Taylor Swift darating. Baka kakantahan ka, gagawan ka ng lyrics on the spot.
Oh, yes.
Ay, nako, Tutor Joyce.
Okay.
We have to admit it, Tutor Joyce, when we were younger, we tend to have such parang pouring emotion, Tutor Joyce, no? Madaling
Oo.
magselos, madaling mag-ano,
Mm.
pero when you
And
grow
that's I think
older,
that's the nature of
yes,
ano, parang teenager talaga na they are very
yes,
emotional.
yes, and
Yeah.
it's normal to feel those emotions. Those are
Yes.
valid. Yes, and you
Mm.
just have to find a
Agree.
partner in the future, 'di ba, Tutor Choice, na understanding, and you'd also understand then. So yun. So you'll get through that. Tama, Tutor Joyce. Ay, nako,
Yes.
cute, cute, cute. So we have
Okay.
Unnecessary Things, Tutor Joyce, by Tatiana Tostaja. So this teddy bear once had amber eyes made from special glass. Each one had a pupil and an iris. The bear itself was gray and stiff with wiry fur. I adored him. So this is a perfect example of a flash fiction that para bang it's giving us that Toy Story feels. Yung parang sinasabi niya dati, I love this toy so much. I cherish it so much kahit saan, dinadala ko. But at the end of the day, when you're growing up, you're already letting go of things which were once so important to you. And at the moment, hindi na siya ganun ka necessary. So,
Sorry.
yeah. So, donate nyo na lang. Huwag nyo itapon. Di ba, Tutor Joyce?
Yes. Yes,
Yes. So,
correct.
Tutor Joyce,
Agree.
so that wraps up our lesson, a comparison on graphic fiction and tawag dito, flash fiction. So let's get to test. We get to test our students this afternoon through an assessment. So are you guys ready for the assessment? Tutor Joyce,
Yes,
instructions,
I
please.
think they are ready. So, for a quick assessment, guys, here is your direction. Read the scenarios or statement given in each number. Then, identify the 21st century literature genre or concept described in each. So, guys, ready? Ayan, mukhang
Yeah.
ready na sila. Tutor Floy. Okay,
Okay.
go ahead.
All
To
right.
start with, number one, which genre 21st century literature involves an author's narrative in prose while
Right.
infusing images or illustration to a story, often in a comic book fashion, while maintaining resemblance to the length, story, or quality of novel? Ayan, is it A, comic book, B, graphic novels, C, illustrated novels, or D, mythology? Ayan. Uy, may sumagot na sa atin, Tutor Floy. And ayan,
Okay.
napaka-active naman nila. We have letter B according to Von Diola. And we also have
Oh.
Trisha. She says letter B. Mark answered B. John, me, Christian also B. Althea B. Ayan, ang dami, Tutor Floor.
All
Realize siguro
right.
natin, mukhang excited na sila.
Yes, and the
Yeah,
answer is
congratulations.
B.
Yes,
Good
correct.
job,
Letter
guys.
B. Good
Good
job.
job. All right. Thank you, Tutor Joyce. Let's proceed to the second one. It
Yes.
is where the dialogues in graphic fiction are written. Is it the gutter, image panels, motion lines, or speech bubbles and balloons? So, eto, nasa parts yun kanina. Ano kaya yung mga sagot nila, Tutor Joyce? Let's
Ayan,
check
meron na
those.
silang sinagot.
Yeah, so
Okay, so we have, ayan, from Joseph Conrad, he answered letter B. Si Von naman, letter D. And Mark also D. Oh, they have different
oh,
answers. Tutor Floor,
yes.
letter B.
O
So, siguro,
sige.
i-hold na
Alright.
natin.
Okay, remember ha, gutter yung dulo, parang gutter lang din yan ng pool, nasa dulo. So it's
Yes.
those are the spaces in between image panels. Image
Mhm.
panel doon nakalagay yung story, doon nakalagay yung scene mismo, pati yung characters. Motion line, yung exaggerated motion, parang nakikita nag-cue na anong direction ng motion ng character or ng thing. So probably, hindi probably, yes na yes, most of your answers are correct. The answer is letter D, speech
D,
balloons or word
yes.
bubbles. Good job, guys.
Yes.
Good job. Next one,
Congrats,
Tutor
congrats.
Joyce.
Next, number three, we have how do flash fiction commonly in a story? Paano kaya yun? Letter A, it presents a painful ending. Is it a painful ending? Oh. Letter
Oh,
B, is it usual ending happily and merrily? Uh-huh.
yes.
Or
Okay.
is it letter C, readers have the liberty to give their own ending? Ah, meron pa isa. And is the story end with a twist?
Mhm.
Okay, so let us have our answers. Ayan, mukhang ayan, nag-answer na sila. Joseph said
Yes.
letter D, si Von naman letter C, si Mark D, si Ferlin D, surprising. Mm-hmm. Ayan, excited sila. Tutor Floy, what is our answer?
um, Definitely, Tutor
Aha.
Joyce, di natin masasabing painful, happily, merrily, kasi nga,
Ah, oh, syempre.
surprise siya.
Yes.
Surprise.
Mhm.
So, the answer is letter?
Letter D, it has a
Yeah.
twist in the
Yes,
ending of
or
the
surprise
story.
ending. So,
Surprising.
ayun.
Okay, next.
Good job. Thank you. Good job, you guys. Next one. How is a literary form different from a genre? So, genre is a general structure of a piece of writing, while the literary form is the particular style within a genre. Or, letter B, literary form is the general structure of a piece of writing, while the genre is the particular style within a form. Wow, this is really getting interesting. These are difficult items. Such a good choice. Letter
Yes.
C, they're both general structures of a piece of writing, but there are more genres than literary forms. Interesting. And finally, they're essentially the same. I'll give you a clue. D is not the answer. It's obvious. So you just have to choose from A, B to C. So just a quick recap. What are items A and B? Quick glance, everyone. All right. And five, four, three, two, and let's have letter C. There you go. So what do you think is the answer? Shooter Joyce. Let's check the answers of the folks in here.
Yes, we have from, ayan, they have answers. Tutor Floy, we
All
have,
right.
ito sa Ferlin, answered letter B. I
Mhm.
think she got the correct answer. And also, Odseya.
Yeah, let's see.
Yeah, let's see.
Yeah.
The correct answer. Yeah,
There you have it.
congratulations. Good job.
Congratulations,
Yeah.
everyone. So it's a general structure of a piece of writing, form equals structure, genre style. Okay, genre equals style. All right, good job. And I think this is the last item, Tutor Joyce. Am I right? Did we have
Yes, the
five
last
items
one.
already? All
Opo,
right. So
we have.
so
So
which
which?
characterizes flash fiction? Go ahead, Tutor Joyce. The
Okay,
choices.
letter A, it combines letters and words. Uh-huh. Letter B, it presents few as words as possible. Or letter C, illustrations allow the readers to imagine and experience the characters and events in the story. And last one, it presents colorful images panels. So ano kaya
Images.
ito?
All
Yes, image
right.
panels. Yes.
A, B, C, D.
Or
Combines letters and words, possibly. presents fewest words possible. Possibly possible. Letter C,
Yeah. So we
illustration.
have letter O.
Okay.
We have answers from our comment section.
Yes.
Yes, you have Ranacel
B,
answered letter
B, B,
B.
B. Yes.
B.
All
Yvonne,
right.
Shari May, B. Trisha answered B also.
Answer reveal, Shooter Joyce.
Yes, the correct answer letter B. It presents fewest words as possible. Siyempre, kaya
All
nga siya flash fiction.
right.
Okay,
Great work,
congratulations,
you
guys. Good job.
guys. Good job. Good job.
Yes.
You guys are doing great so far, and we can really see how well you understood our lesson this afternoon. We're very happy that you're able to answer all of them. Yung iba lang medyo nalito, but you guys are doing great. So, here's a sneak peek. So, we'll have creative literary adaptations next meeting, part one. Okay. And then here's our weekly quote. Shooter Joyce, go ahead.
Yes, our weekly quote: to learn means by practice, by inquiring, by analyzing to find what is, not what was, according to Lobsan
Wow.
Tenzin. So let us practice, inquire, and analyze our lessons here in our session. Yan.
Yes. And it's okay to learn from the past, but we shouldn't be dwelling on them. Just focus on the present. That applies to life as well, right, Shooter Joy?
Yes.
So that's about it, guys. Don't forget to subscribe to the DepEd EdTech Facebook page and the YouTube channels, EdTech Unit and DepEd Philippines, to revisit and share our episodes. Once again, this is Shooter Floyd and
I am Tutor Joyce.
yes,
Have
your
fun.
virtual mentors every Tuesday from 4 to 4:40 p.m. Go ahead, Shooter Joyce.
So have fun in exploring the different concepts and texts in your weekly habit here at the 21st Century Literature from the Philippines and the world.
All right. Make sure to tune in for the next class, Reading and Writing with Shooters Jess and Zen, and Creative Writing with Shooters Kit and Jerry. Thanks for watching, everyone. See you next week for week 3. Bye-bye.
Bye guys. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Ang husay naman! Natapos mo ang iyong tutorial session kasama ang iyong mahusay na ETUlay tutor. May bago ka bang natutuhan? I-share na yan gamit ang hashtag #ETUlayLevelUp. Huwag aalis ha dahil may susunod pang programa na pwede mo ring panoorin at salihan dahil naghihintay na ang iyong mga tutors. Happy learning dito sa ETUlay!